a lot of these couples that come in from other countries, here we've got a lot of Mexicans. I work in the home improvement industry, and we have a lot of competition there. In Des Moines, it's other races in other countries, but they have children in this country, and then they try and stay based on the claim that they have to take care of a child who was born in this country.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I think that it should be mandated somehow that if you come into this country illegally, even though you have a child in this country, that child is a national of the country you came from, and not a child of this country.
What you're talking about is so-called anchor baby syndrome, where you have a child born here, and then when they get at the appropriate age, they can bring in everybody else in the family, and they use that as an anchor. Now, I'll be very realistic with you. The courts have held for a long, long time in this country that anybody born here is an American citizen. It creates a special constitutional issue for us. The real problem is the chain migration that comes from that. I think that people here are illegal, need to go back whether they have children here or not. And that's their decision. But the real problem is making sure that you can't set in a system of chain migration so that fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, everybody else can come in. I think it needs to be limited to spouses and minor children. And if we did that, we'd be, I'm talking about legally now, legally.
Does that have a problem?
Legally. No, none of us do. We're a nation, we ought to be a nation with high fences and wide gates, but we get to decide when to open the gate and how long it should be open. When legal immigrants come here and play by the rules and stand in line the way many of them have become citizens here, they become a part of us. This is their home, this is our home together, and just like anybody else, we get to decide who comes in our home.
If you get a chance to go down to, Arizona, Mexico, I forget exactly, who's out in the desert, and you see for miles nothing but stuff that people left behind once they got across the border, trying to get up into California and Arizona, and there's just acres and acres of trash and garbage these people leave.
That's why the American people responded the way they did to this last immigration bill. And we've been paying lip service to securing the border for so long now. The American people said we've had enough of it. Secure the border, number one. Don't talk to us about anything else. Secure the border. And people said, well, look, it's right here in the bill. You know, we're guaranteeing you this time. They said, we've been down this road before. You're trying to sell us the same horse twice. We're not going to go for it. Secure the border. Now everybody's saying, well, we're really going to do it now. You know, we'll believe it when we see it. It has not happened. It is not happening. There's over 800 miles of fence that are on the law books now that they're giving lip service to, but we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do because it's not just 11 or 12 million people. It's 11 or 12 million more. 11 or 12 million more on top of that. And at the same time that we're giving lip service to securing the border, we've got these sanctuary cities over here that's enticing people to come across the border. And people say, well, we feel sorry for the children. I feel sorry for the children, but it's their parents that are doing it. And we can't entice more parents to bring more children, which is what we're doing with these sanctuary cities. Some of these colleges, universities are giving in-state tuition to treatment to illegal immigrants. When I was in the Senate in 1996, we passed a bill that outlawed sanctuary cities and outlawed colleges and universities from doing that unless they treated everybody the same way and gave everybody in-state tuition. They're violating law. That's why I say the number one thing that we've got to do there is tell these sanctuary cities you're not going to get any more federal funding as long as you continue. The very idea of telling local law enforcement officers and people that they can't report illegality to federal officials. It is misplaced compassion, it is desire for cheap labor, and it's a lot of other things. But we don't need to analyze the motivation for all of it as badly as we need to address the problem. And if we will enforce, let me finish. If we will enforce the law, secure the borders, and do away with these sanctuary cities, we will have enforcement by attrition. We're not going to deal with this problem and do away with it overnight. It wasn't created overnight, it won't be solved overnight. But we will, if people can't come back and forth with impunity and be rewarded once they get here by having public services paid for by people who are obeying the law and working and providing the tax money, then we will have enforcement by attrition. The situation will start to reverse itself, and we will be in much, much better shape as we go into the future. It is not a good idea for an economy such as ours, which is becoming more of a high-tech economy, to be dependent upon illegal labor of any kind, but illegal labor that is here and valued by many people because they will work for lower wages, and in most cases they're less educated. And let's say those people came in and assimilated into society. We're going to need another 11 or 12 or 15 million if we're dependent on it as a nation for our employment. Does that kind of policy benefit America? Does it benefit our entitlement programs when they're going bankrupt anyway? When a good portion of them, are not paying taxes that go in to support those programs? It's not even good for the countries that are having their citizens come here. I'm amazed at the criticism we get from our friends south of the border sometimes. We trade with them, we have a relationship with them on criminal activity and drug enforcement activity. It's pretty good stuff. They're doing some good work there. But when we try to secure the border, we get criticism from Calderon and other politicians down there. And I want to say to them, my friends, look, what does it say about a nation whose economy is so dependent upon the exportation of their own citizens? You might want to look in the mirror.